It's a fabulous season. You know, the Gunners pushed Man City, every step of the way, and really proud of themselves. You know, Declan Rice in particular, I thought was a standing first season for us. And it's the progression, the progression over the last couple of years. It's been great. You know, I looked at Arteta, for instance, and I'm kind of going, is there anything that he did wrong? And I can honestly say, no, he actually nailed it. Timing, his selections, his rotation, going up to Man City and getting a 0-0 draw. I was the only person screaming from the rooftops, I think, going, well done, boring game, got a point, move on. Likelihood is if we beat them then, we could have actually won the league. But there you go, that's Arteta and that's me.
Look, Tony, you mentioned Man City there. In the last day, we found out that they're taking action over the Premier League, over financial rules, ahead of their 115 charges that they're facing. In terms of Arsenal, do you think that can play to their advantage next season? Can they make advantage of the noise around Man City? And how will that affect Man City, do you think, on the pitch?
I think you've got to be careful. I don't want Man City to win it for the next 10 years, and at the moment they're stockpiling. They've got a lot of players on their books in many different countries. And I think the Premier League have got to look at maybe the loan system to stop them stockpiling, and maybe something to do with their the development, because the development league, the Premier League Development League, is not really a development league in this country, and it's coming from the feeder leagues of Belgium, France, and Spain and South America. So I think the league's more importantly got to look at that to make sure that Man City just didn't keep rolling it around, because they're under. We've spent 200 million here at the Arsenal just to get near them, and you can't keep doing that. The big clubs will always be the big clubs, but as you want to let the big Premier League is the best league in the world because it's competitive, and you want to maintain that. And thank God we have Arsenal. If we didn't have Arsenal this year, it's a non-existent league again.
Mikel Arteta has been the man behind making Arsenal competitive again. Reports in the media that Arsenal were looking to extend that contract. Would you agree with that decision?
Absolutely, there's progression, even though he's not won a trophy for 4 years. I'm all about getting over the line, and whatever competition you're playing up against, whether it be Man City or, in my days it started with Liverpool and then Man United, then Chelsea, whoever it is, you've got to beat them. You've got to go across that line. So, well done. And let's go forward again. Let's, kind of progress on that and see what areas of the pitch you can. For me, maybe needs a centre forward still. Maybe needs someone in there. Havertz had an unbelievable season. Can he do it again? Don't know. Jesus, not sure. And left back also, but we're going to have to look at Timber. Maybe Timber goes in at the left back spot and does a job for us next year. So they're the two areas that I can see that you can actually improve this team and this squad.
And in terms of what happened,
sign it. Let's get Arteta to sign.
In terms of what happened this season, David Raya was the goalkeeper. We expect Arsenal to make that transfer permanent. Again, what do you make of that decision, and what do you make of him this season?
I like Martinez, to be honest. I think he's a perfectly great goalkeeper, but it seems like Arteta, he's not afraid to make a decision. And then he was very close at the beginning of the season to Ramsdale, maybe to put, he must have had the fault to put him back in, because the start wasn't that great for the Arsenal, Raya. But he stood by him. And I've been in that same situation. And if you take your goalkeeper out and the next one you put in doesn't do well, you've got to go back to the first one. You can lose two goalkeepers doing it that way. So I was really proud of Arteta again on that he stuck to his guns and he went, no, that's it. You're my man. Whatever judgment. He was the best goalkeeper in the league. He got least goals against him. Have we gone 2-2? I can't believe you're distracting me. My team's missing me, but keep going.
I'm sorry, Tony. We've got questions to ask you. And look, another two academy players, I think, that are going to get a lot of talk this window. Emil Smith-Rowe, Eddie Nketiah, probably didn't feature as much as they would have wanted to. Could you see them moving on? Do you think they need to for their development? What do you make of them to their situation? Yeah,
they need to be playing, but if Arsenal are going to get to Man City, they need to play. And if I've got one criticism, and I've been very pro Arteta here, but one criticism is that he's not used them enough. Saka's, you always see him, you don't see him coming off hardly. It's 90 minutes after 90 minutes after 90 minutes. When the game's won, you're 2-0, 70 minutes, get him off, get Smith-Rowe on to develop and stuff. I think they've gone a bit stagnant. And I think they're both probably, if I was them, I'd be looking to move. But I think if Arteta do a man management job and work with them and give them more time, he needs to give them more time. But that depends if we get another centre forward, doesn't it? But I still think he should rotate Saka a little bit more than he's doing. I keep on waiting for him to blow up, to be honest with you. But he's been player of the season for me every single year for the Arsenal for the last four or 5 years. It's incredible the levels of the standards he's been putting in. No wonder he got injured at the last knock-ins.
So how much do you love coming back to this club? I know you've been invited to do a few of these this season. How much of a pleasure is it to do this kind of thing?
It's great fun. I'm connected with the club. You know, my actual home's over the road there. You know, Highbury, but it's a wonderful club and they're progressing. You know, I was talking to the owner the last game of the season, the owner's son. And he was saying, you know, he's very optimistic, and he used that word quite a bit, progress. And I think the club is progressing on and off the pitch. And I'm a big fan of Arsenal and a big ambassador. And you can come and show you the statue, mate. You know, we've got to get the statue in, haven't we?